Hey everybody, welcome to my suburban oasis. My name's Soleil and I garden in Zone 6A in mid-Michigan, and today we are going to be doing some planting. I am really excited about this planting. I have actually gotten some additional plants since our last plant haul, and yes, those of you who know me know that Chad and I get along really well. And for those of you who may be new to the channel, Chad is compulsive horticultural acquisition disorder. I learned about it in my Master Gardener class, and it's just fine. It's something I really love to have fun with, and I hope you do too. So Chad and I went plant shopping, and we got a couple extra plants to go in this area of the garden. So right now we are standing on the northwest corner of our house, and this corner gets pretty much full sun now that the neighbor took down their maple tree, and I know I've talked about that in some of my other videos if you watch them. And so I need to replace some things. So I started digging out some of the hostas on this corner, and I brought over some of the Hidcote lavender. So this Hidcote lavender was one of the ones in my plant haul that I got on sale, and just $4 a piece. So I got 2 of those. And then my most recent score of clearance plants are these little Bluestem plants. These are standing Ovation little Bluestem, and they're full sun perennial, and I got these for I believe $7 a piece, and they are deer resistant with year-round interest. They actually got perennial of the year from the Perennial Association in, like, I don't know, I can't remember what year it was, but they like full sun and they have very low need for watering. And again, they're deer resistant, which is super important, and they're hardy down to zone 3. They get 3 to 4 feet tall when they send up their blooms, and they get 1 foot wide, so not super wide, which is why I'm adding the lavender in between them as well. And the lavender is also a deer resistant plant. Smells wonderful, very drought wise also. And these are going to be very beautiful, I think, in combination together. And they're going to provide a really nice, relaxing color of blue on this corner. So sometimes in garden design, one of the things that is important is to do contrast, and sometimes it's important to think about texture. And so that's what we're doing here, is we're really looking more at the texture of the different plants that we have here. So we have the large leaves that are there for the hostas, and we have the gorgeous blue of the Fothergillas, and then we're going to carry that blue down and keep it nice and restful on the eyes using this continuous kind of glaucous blue look or silvery look down here. And then in the fall, everything's going to turn magnificent colors, because the Fothergilla turns great colors in the fall, as well as this Bluestem grass. It gets colors of orange and red and rust and blue, and it's just going to be gorgeous. So let's get these planted. All right, well, it is a glorious evening. It is in the low 80s, and so we're going to enjoy our time outside today because the humidity has gone down significantly after we got a super ton of rain this morning. You may hear the air conditioner on in the background, but just ignore it. So we're going to start with the lavender because I want that to be up towards the front, and then we're going to pull these back just a skosh so that we can always make sure to see the lavender out in front of here. And the Hidcote lavender, just as a reminder, only gets to be about 18 inches tall by 18 inches wide. So all of these plants should get to the point where they're just touching each other. And I think that's going to look really, really beautiful in this area. You know, I said I was going to start with the lavender, but I think I'm going to start with the center plant and then go out from there because it will help me with spacing. So the soil is rather nice and loose for me here because I just was digging in it to get out those hostas. And I think I have a clump of daffodils right here, so I'm going to try to get those out and I will replant them. Yeah, we just have a few of them down in here. So I'll just take that clump right out. See some other ones back in here. Want to make sure that they don't come up and through the grass. Wouldn't be a huge problem, but it wouldn't look as great. I think I've got them all now. All right, now like I said, we had some rain earlier today, so I'm probably not going to water these in because these got watered really well in their pots. And also the soil in the ground is pretty moist. All right, that looks good. Now we'll just kind of move out and do our lavenders next, and then we'll do our final bluestem, and then we'll plant our daffodils. Now I'm going to put these right up along the edge, these lavenders here, because like I said, they don't get super big. These grasses though, they will kind of shoot out this way towards the lavender, as the lavender will also shoot out towards it. So we have some nice upright long stems on this grass, and then we'll have this beautiful small little ferny, more fern-like foliage on the lavenders. This is going to be so fun. I'm just going to really enjoy this. I love the look of blue in the garden. I'm just going to take some of this extra soil off from around this plant, checking around the neck of it to see if it's got any, they used a plug, you can kind of see there's a little bit of root boundness up there by the top. So I'm just going to kind of break those roots apart. That can cause some problems later on with the plant. It can kind of choke itself out. And I've seen a lot more plants having these problems in the last few years, so I definitely check before planting. Oh my goodness, this lavender smells good. Someday somebody's going to invent smell-o-vision. All right, let's just put this one right up about here as well. It's a little bit closer, but I like the way that that looks with the rocks. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if it drives me crazy later, I can come in and fix it. Now I'm taking the bottom off of each of these lavender plants just to help stimulate the root growth. And then again, I'm taking off all of this extra soil that's around the top, just to check at the base of the plant, see how it's doing in there. All right, I think we got this one pretty good. I'll flush those roots out a little bit more. And again, we're putting this right up near the front so that it can kind of spill over the rocks a little bit. That is until I decide to move the rocks out another few inches, right? Okay, we had all of these beautiful golden colored hostas in here, and now we are going to have this beautiful blue row of plants. I've never done this before. Last year I was kind of on a trip of trying to find things that I could use to add blue to the garden bed. And now I found these. I think I might just put the daffodils in front of the first bluegrass that we planted. I'm actually going to take some of the soil out of this hole. I'm going to mix some of this pine bark and sand mix that is in here with some of the native soil as I plant this one, because it seems like this area is a little bit more maybe waterlogged than some of the other areas. So I want to make sure it has enough good drainage. So grasses really like that. Great, I'm going to plant the daffodils in, and then I will show you what it looks like when we're done. Well, rounding the corner, I think this is a beautiful, beautiful composition. I'm looking forward to seeing it fill in. And I'm just loving the color blending today and the use of texture rather than just color. All right, I have some catchflies that I want to get in the ground as well, so let's take a peek at those and get them in. Well, next we will be working over in the new garden bed where we put some beautiful begonias just the other day, and they are looking really good. I also popped some of those dianthus in, which won't show up very much this year, but next year we'll have much more of a show. So we popped those in, and then we're going to put the catchfly right here where they will get a little bit of shade from that tree, but we'll be able to put on some beautiful pink blooms. So let's get those planted. Okay, so for those of you who may not have seen the last video, these are called Rollys' favorite catchfly. And these are a mounding perennial that come back every year, which is what the definition of perennial is. They bloom in the spring, and then they also bloom somewhat in the summer. So this is just a rebloom that they're having right now, which is wonderful. They have this gorgeous fuzzy deep green foliage on them, and they go in full sun, and they are hardy down to zone 5. They get about 24 inches high by 12 inches wide. So these are going to be great. They also have a little bit of deer resistance in them, but I do know that something came up and nibbled on them already as I had them sitting outside for the last few weeks, and I'm not sure what it was, but I haven't seen a lot of deer lately, so it's probably rabbit or groundhog. Uh-oh, I might be running into a root here, like a giant root from the old maple tree. That's a pretty solid root there. I'm not going to try to break that one up. I'm just going to leave it there. We'll see if I can kind of dig around it, and I'll make the roots go around the root, if that makes any sense. I'll spread the base of the plant around this root, and it should be okay. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I'll pop this out. We're just going to take some of the bottom off of this plant like we normally do, just to free up the roots. And then we'll splay it down the middle. And this will not hurt the plant, but we'll make a little bit of a division in the middle here so that it will go over that root. And then we can successfully get it planted. There we go. All right, 2 more. All right, this one we're just gonna put right in the middle here. We'll take the big lump of clay soil out of here. And these, I think these were marked $8.48, which meant that I got them on sale for $4 each. So thank you, Chad. Thanks for helping me shop. All right, we'll put a little bit of this soil back in around it. But mostly use this mulch around the top inch and firm it down real nice in that hole. All right, one more to go. So we have some bulbs in this part of the bed that I have no idea how, but they kind of came up to the surface. So we're gonna dig those up real quick, because that's where we're gonna plant this other plant. And we can move those daffodils to a different spot. I'm telling you, so many roots around here. All right, that's down in there real good. Looks real nice. And I'm just gonna plant the daffodils now. I'm gonna try to plant these at the base of this tree before the roots get too big. We'll see how this goes here. I think this is gonna work out fairly good. I used some really nice compost in this area around the tree along with the natural soil, so there we go. And that's all there is to replanting daffodils. Get them under the ground. Well, all in all, I think this was pretty successful, so let's take a look. Well, I feel like this garden bed is finally starting to get its own sense of personality. We've got some nice dark foliage in here. We've got some nice lighter color foliage in here. We've got some variegation now, and we have some color with the begonias, so things are starting to pop and show up a little bit more off each other. We've got some wonderful growth on this barberry, so that's filling in as well. Our Gatsby Moon hydrangea is getting much larger. Maybe we'll even get some blooms on it towards the end of the summer. But I love the depth of color that these new catchflies bring to this area. Well, thanks so much for joining me in the garden today, and we'll see you next time. Bye!